Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so the Lakers got another victory, man. Second victory in a row to end the California Classic. Beat the San Antonio Spurs 88-84 tonight. Very happy with the win there. The standout player for me was Chris Mannion for certain, man. 7 of 10 from the field, 2 out of 3 from three. He walked away with 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, and 24 points. We definitely need to put him on our big boy roster, man, especially if we don't address our forward position any further. I know they gave him a two-way. He needs to be a regular rotation wing for us. He just does a lot of winning things. And it showed tonight. It shows every time we see him, basically. And defensively, 2 steals, 3 blocks, that's 5 stocks on the night. 24 points on high efficiency. He was good. He was really good. So that's what came to mind. Kind of a quiet night from Cam Carr, only 12 minutes. He missed a bunch of shots, 2 of 7 from the field. It's kind of just a cold off night for him. 2 points, 1 rebound. They don't have him. No, that's not right. That's not his stats. He had 5 points, 1 turnover, 1 block, 1 steal, 1 assist, 1 rebound on 2 of 7 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3. And so this was a quiet night, but he did block a 3-point shot once again. As I told people, that's going to be consistent. He's going to do it a lot. People are going to try to shoot over him, and he's going to swat that nonsense. So, yeah, definitely like that particular play, but otherwise I just thought it was a bad shooting night. Limited minutes, not really a focal point since he played last night. They gave him the night off, basically. Same thing with they gave Thero the entire night off. He didn't play. Zaire Smith didn't play. Suter didn't play. Watson didn't play. Most of the guys who had a lot of minutes yesterday did not go. McCray as well. We did get to see Avila tonight. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 2 points, 2 rebounds. Yeah, that kind of thing. 1 of 6 from the field. Not a great night. There's 13 minutes. Hickey had 23 minutes. He walked away with 5 points, 1 block, 2 steals, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. So that was a good night. I thought Good shot well. Goody, in 15 minutes, he was 3 of 5 from the field and 3 of 5 from 3. 9 points, 2 rebounds. So I thought he had a really nice night. Got a chance to see William Kyle a bit more. He had 23 minutes. Walked away with 6 points, 2 blocks, 3 steals, no blocks. Those were turnovers. Sorry, 2 turnovers, 3 steals, 2 assists, 3 rebounds. Good hustle. And I thought Arthur Kaluma played very well. 5 of 11 from the field in 27 minutes of play. 16 points, 1 block, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Pretty good night for Kaluma. I thought his hustle really kept us going and had a lot to do with how we were able to pull away in this basketball game. So, yeah, it was an ugly game as usual. It's a lower level ball, so certain mistakes that you used to professionals not making, these guys made. But ultimately, you saw them play much better. They're looking like they're playing together. Carrot Cake. I call him Carrot Cake. It's easy for me to remember how to enunciate the name when I say Carrot Cake. 2 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 4 boards, 7 points. I thought he had a pretty solid showing as well. Hickey had 23 minutes, 5 points, 1 block, 2 steals, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. I thought he was pretty good. And Elmore walked away with 5 points, 2 assists, 1 steal in 16 minutes. I thought he was much better than he showed us in the first game. That's the ball-headed dude. He did some good things assisting the ball. That stood out to me. And yeah, that was how it went, man. It was a good night for our Lakers once again. 2 nights, 2 wins. Gotta love that. And now we move on to the main summer league. We definitely appreciate seeing some winning basketball. And I just really think we walk away feeling good about some of the prospects that we expect to see more of. Mannion, obviously Carr, those guys need to be called up. Those 2 need to be called up. We're going to need them this year in the regular season, in my opinion. We're definitely going to need them Kaluma, I'm happy he's still with our organization. He's getting it out the mud, but he's showing us each and every summer league that he's somebody we should take seriously. He has the type of body for the NBA, and it was his hustle along with William Kyle that kind of kept us going when the game was much closer in the third quarter. We started pulling away in the fourth quarter, and we put guys like Goody on the floor. He started hitting threes, and then Magnon just went crazy in that fourth quarter and just pulled us away. So that was what I saw there. And then on the other end, Malik Brown had 2 points, 1 steal, 1 assist, 4 boards. I really like him. Terrence Reed walked away with 12 boards, 4 of them offensive boards, 12 points, 1 block, 1 assist. So he's going to be a problem. And then Gillespie, another guy that I like a lot, 7 of 14 from the field in 30 minutes. He had 19 points, 2 steals, 6 assists, 1 board there. R.J. Davis, ex-Laker, 7 of 16 from the field. Walked away with 18 points, 1 assist, 3 boards. And Miller had 14 points, 1 block, 2 steals, 1 assist, 7 rebounds. I think his name is Emmanuel Miller, maybe. And that's the brother of the Miller who plays for the Chicago Bulls. His brother's in the league there. And, that's how things went. Really wasn't too much else to it than that. I think it's just safe to say that we need Magnon in the regular season. I like that he's, getting development opportunities with the G League, but I think we've needed what he does for almost 2 seasons now. And so it's time to call him up and get him in here. If I were to bet anybody would be the quote-unquote next AC for our team, as in a guy who comes through our development process and really turns himself into an actual NBA player, it would be Chris Magnon, for sure. He just has the intangibles that you can see are going to help a team win in the NBA. And so for me, it's like we're developing him well. It's just like AC's a slow burn. We're taking it slowly. I watched AC in the G League for like 3 years before he got his opportunities. Now he's one of the premier defenders, somebody with championships, etc. I just think that if I'm a betting man, I would say Chris Magnon is on that same path and is probably going to have that same success. I really believe that. Him, Austin Reeves, I think he's the next one. I think Magnon is the next one. So I would tell the Lakers, keep working on him because where we're headed, it's going to be another success story from our Los Angeles Lakers G League affiliates and summer league guys. This is going to be another success story. I see that coming. Hopefully with us and not with a different team, but we're really grooming him properly to be someone who's going to have a career for a long time in the NBA, and I think he's going to do that. So I would say Chris Magnon, picking him up last year from the Golden State Warriors summer league team was a success, and now seeing where his development is and where it is headed, I think he's going to be a quality contributor to winning basketball at the highest level. So, that's what I had to say about the summer league. Now we get ready for the Vegas stuff. We did California Classic. That was cool. Let's get on to the real thing. Next up, I'm not sure who we play. But I know it's going to be probably on the 7th, which is 2 days from now. And I will tell you where we're at with that in a minute. So, no, it's not the 7th. We play on the 8th. Nothing scheduled on the 8th. Play on the 9th. When do we play? Excuse me. Maybe not. 10th? Yes, we play on the 10th. The Thunder. 7 p.m. Pacific time. And, that's what you can look forward to. We will play on the 10th. So, man, that's what's up. Good summer league stuff. We're winning. These games haven't been pretty, in my opinion, but the end result is good. We're progressing. We're getting better and better and better. And I thought we had some good play from some guys tonight. I thought we felt good about them playing together. They're starting to gain some synergy as a team. We're starting to find some standouts of who we can trust and maybe who we should kind of leave alone. And I thought this was a successful outing tonight for our summer league squad. So, man, definitely want to see Cam Carr look for others. And there was a play where he went to the rim, got a layup. It was a wide open corner 3-point shooter. He passed him up and didn't even get him the ball. In most situations, even though he was able to connect on the layup and it worked for us, I don't like seeing players pass up teammates who are just completely left alone by the defense. It doesn't speak to a willingness to be a team player. It speaks to a selfishness that just does not work in the big leagues. And so I would tell Cam Carr, you made a nice play right there, but I'm going to dock you for being selfish in that situation. In this league, at this level, people aren't always going to be pleased with you going for your own. You got to put your own selfish agenda away and see the assist as a means of helping you as well. When you get other people the ball, that also helps you. And if you don't see it that way, then you're going to end up hurting yourself, trying to go for yours and ignoring everybody else. Guy can't be that open and you don't get him the ball. Not at this level. Doesn't work. So that's what I would say to Cam Carr. He forced a little bit, but and I think some of his shot selection just showed he had a little, his legs were a bit fatigued from the play over the last couple of days, and it was good to see him get some rest. Adu was dealing with a wrist. Adu Thero's going to have to find balance and stop putting his body out there to get hurt. Getting off the ground with a purpose, moving around with the intention of landing on your feet. You know what I'm saying? You don't throw your body around like you're Colossus out here or something. You're a human being made of flesh and bone, and if you risk your athleticism, it will leave you. If you do too much, a lot will happen to you. And so that's what I would tell our guy. If he wants to have a long career, he needs to learn how to take care of himself a bit better and be a bit more balanced very soon, because you could throw away your whole career. As a young player, being out of control, you know what I'm saying? Literally, landing on your head, landing on your wrist, falling on your back, all types of stuff. Them type of injuries pile up early. And a lot of times these hyper-athletic dudes, by the time they figure that out, they would have already lost their athleticism with injuries. So he better learn this fast. He better learn this fast. And so that's what I got to say with as far as Thero's concerned. He did not play tonight because of the wrist and because of the rest that was needed from playing yesterday. But it was Magnon's night, man. He definitely gets the game ball. He was the best player on the floor for both teams, in my opinion. He just pulled this thing together on both sides of the floor and just ran the team out of the gym. I mean, in the fourth quarter, he pulled away. They did close it in after a while, but we had an 11-point lead, and it was basically off of him, in my opinion, as long with Kaluma as well, who was really hustling and diving on the floor for loose balls left and right. I like what I saw from William Kyle the third, getting out in transition, getting a couple steals and some easy buckets, and also hustling and assisting with diving on the floor and stuff like that. I thought the hustle was good from both Kaluma and Kyle Magnon. Their defense turned to offense, and we were able to pull away from a Spur team that has a lot of players on it that you would expect to see at the next level. So this was a very impressive win for our team, and hopefully we can continue to work together to find victories in the Summer League, man. Take it as far as we can take it. So that's what comes to mind as far as the Summer League is concerned. Very pleased with these last two games. All right. What did I hear? Something I heard I wanted to talk about, but I don't. In regards to our Lakers. And Bron, of course, still, dragging this thing out as we knew he would. It's a situation where he said that he didn't want to talk to any teams. He's just going to have his representation bringing back all the data from all the teams, and he'll make his decision. But he's not going to be meeting with anyone. I think Bron at this point, if anybody can do that, is him. You know what I mean? At this stage in his career, with that much accredited to his history and that much legendary status, it's like you have the right to do that. You can posture that way in ways that maybe no one else should, basically. And that's what he's doing, exercising his right to be, elite in that regard. He's earned that. I don't particularly like that, really, but it's not my business. He's going somewhere else. So I think, I don't know. He doesn't have to be humble. That's basically how I look at that. So we're waiting his decision. I think it's going to be Cleveland, but Denver feels like they got a good shot at it. Non-Laker news, it looks like Watson is headed to the Clippers. Although that deal is not done, they are discussing something, and only two teams that have the ability to sign him to an offer sheet is the Nets and the Clippers. And the Nets, from what I understand, have not shown interest. So the Clippers are the only team that's really going after Watson. They have a first-round pick, 2 seconds, and Derrick Jones Jr. to offer. And I think that draft equity could be interesting to the Denver Nuggets. So I expect that deal to get done. Maybe they add something to it to make it even a little more sweeter for the Denver Nuggets. But I think that may get it done. I feel like the Lakers are trying to build something extremely specific and have no interest in adding or subtracting anything to that vision. That's what it seems like. From what I understand, the Lakers, on one post I saw, the Lakers are showing some interest in DeMar DeRozan. Another post said that they didn't have any interest in DeMar DeRozan. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'd imagine DeMar DeRozan is going to find somewhere to play this season. But I don't know that the Lakers have him incorporated into the vision, so the interest seems to be a little hot and cold. The Lakers don't appear to be going after Peyton Watson or trying to create roster space for Peyton Watson, although anything could happen. I'd imagine he's going to the Clippers right now. We didn't show any interest in Rui, obviously. As you guys know, he signed with the Clippers this morning as well. We signed the guys that we signed to 4-year deals. It was only 11, if I'm not mistaken, 4-year deals signed this offseason, and we signed 3 of them or 4 of them, something like that. And so it's just like the Lakers are locked in a way as it pertains to this vision that you don't see very often, to where while the rest of the market is signing people to 2-year deals at a very comfortable price, the Lakers are locking every one of these players in. And to me, it just seems like they're going all in a way that isn't safe, because you don't know these players. You ain't had these people in your organization at all, and you're committing 4-year deals to them. And while in most situations you would be able to throw picks in to get rid of stuff, if for some reason you find out a guy is not your kind of guy, we're locking ourselves in because we don't have that draft equity to actually do that, to trade people away if we find out they're not for us. That, to me, just, I don't know, it's almost like guys are saying, okay, well, you're going to have my vision here, whether you like it or not, whether it works or not. You're stuck with what it is I'm putting together. That's kind of what it feels like Rob Pelinka is doing. Like, look, if this doesn't work, y'all going to fire me, but y'all still going to have these people in your uniform as a big FU to you for firing me. That's what it feels like. It's the Mozgov, Luol Deng thing all over again. I felt like the Mozgov, Luol Deng signings were big FUs to us from Jim Buss, because he knew we were unhappy with him and wanted him out. So he left us with some contracts that were going to far exceed his tenure, that would ultimately be useless to players that weren't worth half that we would need to stretch in order to fix our situation, for which we did. This feels like that happening to us all over again. That's what it feels like. But it's a little better because at least the players you're signing shows that they have something to give, instead of being at the tail end of their careers like those two were. But we're really locked in a way that nobody else is locking themselves in this offseason. And we have more cap space than anyone else. But, you're talking about a team who, without Austin, without Luka, won an entire playoff series against a broken Rockets team, obviously. But you brought back nobody from that starting lineup that won that series. It's the only series we've won the last 3 years, and we didn't bring back anybody that was substantial to us winning that series. And we're building around Luka and Austin, who, obviously, as I mentioned, were absent. So the people that you can actually trust to win you a playoff series, minus your 2 stars that you're building around, you let go of and brought in 4 guys that you don't know at all, and lock yourselves into them in ways that make it so that you can't undo it at all. I just feel like this is somebody saying, yo, F y'all, this is either gonna work or it's not. But one thing's for certain, you stuck to it, deal with it. Like, that's what this feels like to me. And if people are giving the finger to the ownership or whatever, I feel like you're giving it to me as a fan. I don't feel like you're giving it to ownership. I feel like I'm the one that's getting the FU here. Because if this don't work out, it's me stuck here watching it fail every year. So that's my take on it. I like these players, but I would feel a lot more comfortable if they were on contracts that were comparable to what is provided the rest of the league this offseason. On the other hand, I've listened to the argument about continuity. I've made the argument that continuity is very important for this roster as well. For team success, you want to keep people together. So there's definitely an argument for that, and we definitely added to that notion that we understand that, it takes more than a year for guys to gel, and they get better as years and years progress. So while there's going to be more turnover in the league amongst other teams over the next 4 years, our team will be carrying over in a way that provides continuity that other teams won't see. So this just happens to be our year for the turnover, but you don't have to expect to see much of that over the next 4 years because we're locked in to the core for the next 4 years. What I also think is interesting is that if you look at Luka Doncic's contract, these players that we signed today, with the exception, or this offseason, with the exception of Sexton, are going to be here past Luka. If he decides to leave us, you're still stuck with these guys for another season. They would all be expiring that year, but you can expect that they're going to be on the team even if Luka bounces. So I think that's very interesting. Now, those are tradable contracts at that point in theory, but they're all having player options that they likely opt into. So if for some reason Luka bounces, you got all these dudes that, for whatever reason, didn't work for the last 4 years, suddenly all coming back on expiring contracts that are of exorbitant amount of money. It's a bad look in 2029, 2030 if Luka don't return. So I think there's a lot of things that can happen between now and then. Obviously, you would expect Carr and Thero, if you keep them, to be rounding into form at that point. So maybe they'd be taking on bigger roles and helping whatever. Hopefully, Luka don't leave at all. I'd like to think we'd get an extension on him at that point. And it shouldn't be too bad at all. If he leaves, maybe we get a sign and trade him for a bunch of picks. If it comes to that at that point, you might have a lot more flexibility than you appear to have right now. So that's what it is. But between this season and basically 29, 2030, you're going to see a whole lot of what you signed this year. So if you like that, cool. If you don't like that, I don't really see a path to get rid of all these people. I don't. You're going to definitely have Mamu. You're going to definitely have Grimes. You're going to definitely have Kessler. You're going to definitely have Austin. So you can just get used to them four. You don't know them yet, but you're going to know them very well by the end of this process. Hopefully that's for the better and not for the worse. So I'm not comfortable with this, but there are a lot of people who are excited about it. So we'll watch. I'm sure we'll get used. Like I said, I'm going to get used to these guys. I'm going to know them by the end of it, one way or another. But we've seen things not really work out with this front office and the people that they've chosen with these contracts they've been giving them. Vando and his extension has been the bane of our existence. Gabe Vincent made me want to break my phone every time he played for us for the last 3 years. We don't have the greatest track record in that regard. That's really what it comes down to. We don't have the greatest track record when it comes to these, this front office choosing people that they like in role-playing positions and then give them contracts that they're comfortable with. We ain't been doing too well. So that's why I'm a little concerned as well. This is not a great deal of evidence that we've been so successful in that specific thing. So that's really what it is, man. I'm looking forward to the Lakers hopefully making a move, try to get a PJ Washington. I would love something that I heard today to take place. The Lakers in a sign and trade with Cleveland potentially getting back Jared Allen. I don't know that would actually happen, but you figure LeBron James, if he does choose to go to the Cleveland Cavaliers or anywhere for that matter, he's probably not going to want to sign for the vet minimum. It's so degrading for a guy like LeBron, especially given the fact that even if he doesn't play well, he's going to be generating so much wealth for the team that he goes to, just off the strength of the ticket sales, merch. It absolutely makes very little sense for him, a billionaire, to take vet minimum money and then proceed to generate such a massive profit for the team that he's going to. at the very least, he should be making about $35 million. At the very least, just off the strength of what he's doing off the court for you. You're a franchise. So I don't know that he's going to be able to garner that much because I don't think anybody can create that for him, but they can do better than what it looks like he's going to be getting if he just signs outright. So if we do a sign and trade, he could at least get the money that Jared Allen's making. And plus, they may want to create the spacing for LeBron to come in at the 4, Mobley at the 5, I guess. A little skinny there, but they're not going to move Mobley, so it would be Allen, in my opinion. So we'll see if that's something the Cleveland Cavaliers want to do. It might make more sense to them to move Allen in a separate deal. You know, that might make more sense. That's probably what I would want to do if I'm Cleveland. But for the sake of making sure LeBron has his money, there might be a sign and trade situation that allows for that to be possible. So stay tuned if that could be something the Lakers working out or the Cleveland Cavaliers working out. I don't know. We would then be getting Jared Allen. We could do two things. We could keep Jared Allen and make him our backup center. He is 6'8", so it's not like he's some center size. He's been masquerading as a center. He's actually 6'8", so you can play him at the 4. You can stretch the floor a little bit. You would have the best front court shot blocking tandem in the league, and you would have an answer for your power forward situation. Now, he doesn't really create for himself. He's definitely used to playing the center, so you probably don't want him playing the 4 at all. It becomes a redundancy in a way, but it gives us the center depth that ultimately will make us feel extremely comfortable about what we got going on going forward. Elite rim protection on the floor at all times, probably a good idea when you're considering Austin and Luka. And the deficiencies of Quentin Grimes being your 3 players in the backcourt, you probably would be wise to have 2 ridiculously great shot blockers. And that's exactly what you would have. Or, which is what is more likely to be, the Lakers would then take Jared Allen and ship him to a 3rd team for us to get back something that fits whatever, however it goes. So I think that's, it's a lot of things that could happen. I'm snatching this from someone else. It's not my content, my idea, but it did make a lot of sense, and I wanted to just second that notion to say that's a great scenario for us if we could convince the Cleveland Cavaliers, upon LeBron's choosing of the Cavaliers, to provide us a guy like Jared Allen's salary so that they can pay LeBron what he deserves. We can then take Jared Allen and do with him whatever we choose. That's a great scenario for us. We would not lose. So if we do the things we're supposed to do, hopefully it'll pay out that way. I don't know if we'd have that same success if he chooses a different team because it's an entirely different scenario. Don't really know if it will work that way if he goes anywhere else. But if he goes to Cleveland, that may be reasonable. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how likely that is. No clue. What else? I don't think there's much else. Not much else that's coming to mind right now. Just, poised for a little disappointment if this doesn't work out with this unit that they're locking us into for 4 years, man. I like 2 out of the 3 guys, though. Kessler, I'm definitely a fan of Kessler. Definitely a fan of Mamu. Grimes, I'm not. Sexton's, it's a different story because he's only on a 2-year deal. He's pretty solid. But that Grimes contract, I don't really know about that, man. I don't really know about that. Especially since he's not projected to be a great wing. I got Carr waiting in the wing to take his spot. I just don't think I'm going to want that contract for very long. So we'll see. But that's just my point of view, man. He could change my mind about that. If he plays like he did when he was with the New York Knicks, it changes everything. Because that player back then looked like a fantastic player. It just seen a lot from him since that made me understand he's not very consistent, especially with Philadelphia. It was just like, all right, Detroit, he disappeared. All right, bro. That kind of thing. So, I think if it may not be fair to say this, but if he was that great, he would have found a landing spot sooner. That's my take. He's been on like 5 teams, so like, what are we doing? Giving him a 4-year deal with a player option. By the way, Rui's contract with the Clippers has a team option. 2 years, team option. So they could just drop him at the end of this year. That's a very tradable contract. I wouldn't be surprised if the Clippers shop Rui at the deadline. And you figure they have a team option on a $14 million deal, which is really good value for the Rui that we just had. And they're probably going to give him a bigger role than what we have to give him. And if they like what they see, they can just pick up the option on a very nice price. If he has a bad year or an injury year, they can just drop him at the end of the season. That's an incredible trade piece. To give a team that option on that type of player, that's an incredible trade piece. I wouldn't be surprised if Rui is somewhere else at the trade deadline. It actually might be one of the better contracts in the entire league. So that is something that I'm just like, we're giving out all these damn player options, and the Clippers were able to sign our guy on a 2-year deal on a team option? How the hell? How do they have that type of leverage and we don't have that leverage with any of the players that we have? Or did we even exercise such an idea? It's like, damn, why are we giving away player options only to find the Clippers, the B team that don't have a damn championship, able to get team options on players that we most definitely would have gave a player option to? Rob Pelinka, this is one of the biggest things, man. This is one of the biggest things. I don't think our logic when it comes to these player options have ever made any sense at all, bro. We be giving player options to every damn body. And it hurts the team. And as you can see, when players go to other places, they have no problem signing contracts that have team options on them. I don't understand why we never give off no damn team options. Kind of tired of it, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm not kind of tired of it. I am dead tired of it. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. That's my Laker talk for this hour. If anything pops up, of course, we'll talk about it. Video 44. Thank you all for watching. Bye.